solution to all of life's problems.
As Homer Simpson notes, alcohol is a very ubiquitous and important substance in our lives, producing hundreds of brands and giving it a myriad of nicknames from liquid courage to plain old brew. We have, in many ways, made this drink an essential part of our lives. However, alcohol does tend to make many issues blurry and contentious. At the same time, it can make a mess of social, religious, ethical, and legal situations. One of the most heated and debated situations of alcohol today, though, is the legal minimum drinking age set by individual countries. There is no blanket age restriction for the legal drinking age. Rather, it varies from country to country and state to state. For example, many countries have the legal drinking age set at 18 years of age, such as France and China. Other countries, such as Italy and Portugal, have this set as low as 16 years of age. It's only a very few who have set the legal drinking age at 21 years of age, two of which include Indonesia and our very own United States of America. The United States of America, in particular, seems to have a very interesting history with limitations on alcohol and its consumption. Pre-1919, not much is known for sure on how individual states govern their alcohol purchase and consumption laws. From 1919 to 1933, however, the United States went completely dry with the passing of the 18th Amendment, as alcohol was completely prohibited for possession and consumption, a time period aptly named the Prohibition era. Afterwards, individual states once again had the freedom to control the drinking age. By 1950, the majority of states listed the legal drinking age at 21 years of age. Over the next 30 years, however, this trend changed, as by the 1980s, the majority of the states listed the legal drinking age at either 18 or 19 years of age. Although, in 1984, the federal government once again weighed in on the issue, passing the Drinking Age Act of 1984, which states that the government shall withhold 10% of the amount required to be apportioned to any state, in which the purchase or public possession in such state of any alcoholic beverage by a person who is less than 21 years of age is lawful. Or, in other words, if the drinking age isn't 21, you'll lose money. In the next 6 years, by 1990, all 50 states had mandated that 21 become the legal drinking age. So this is a question we are asking. What is the appropriate age for the legal drinking minimum? Let's find out.
I think the age should be lowered, perhaps to 18. 18, I'm not certain about that.
I support it at 21. I don't really see that there should be at this point any change to it.
Let's start with the pros of lowering the drinking age. The Amethyst Initiative is a petition led by 136 college presidents who believe it's time to rethink the drinking age. The supporters include Dartmouth, Lafayette, Johns Hopkins, Ohio State, Syracuse, and Texas A&M, to name a few. So how would this affect a college campus?
I think that it might have some positive effects in normalizing responsible drinking habits a little bit more. From my experience, generally students who are unable to take care of themselves as a result of drinking too much are those that are under the age of 25.
What Ms. Liberatore says is true. A 2007 report by the Surgeon General shows that underage adolescents tend to drink more than any other age group when they do drink. Carla Main of the journal Policy Review agrees that 21 laws make alcohol taboo, thus driving underage drinking underground and causing more binge drinking to take place than otherwise would. 18-year-olds can vote, get married, join the army, and purchase tobacco, but for some reason cannot buy or drink alcohol. Well, in 1980, the organization Mothers Against Drunk Driving, or MADD, fought to raise the drinking age in response to a string of deaths and injuries to children caused by drunk driving. MADD was one of the major proponents of the National Minimum Drinking Age Act of 1984, and since then, they have fought to keep the drinking age at 21 years of age, which brings us to the cons of lowering the drinking age.
In America,
I think we would see a lot more problems with alcohol.
You would?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I think America's a little immature when it comes to drinking. Not in any specific age even, but I think if it was lowered, we would see a little more problems with alcohol. If there was a little more education on it, and I think you're right, part of the problem is it's taboo to drink until you're 21. So what happens is these kids go to parties, and then it encourages almost a binge drinking type mentality. So in that respect, yes, I could see that helping. I think it would take a while.
I think initially lowering the drinking age would result in a lot more binge drinking and heavy drinking among younger people, since it's now legal for them to do so. But a large part of the appeal to do so is because it's a taboo, and once the taboo has been removed, while there will initially be some problems, after a while that will subside. The last place I lived was Italy, and a few times I would go out with some friends and drink. And we didn't really just go to get drunk, you know. It's just if we go out have some dinner, we would have a little bit of wine with dinner, that sort of thing.
MAD and other groups support their claims with such arguments and statistics, saying that kids who start drinking young are 7 times more likely to be in an alcohol-related crash, and that car crashes are the leading cause of death for teens, and 1 out of 3 of those is alcohol-related. It is true that the United States is one of the highest death rates for alcohol-related traffic accidents in the world. From 2000 to 2005, that rate has stayed about level, around 26.5% for males and 11% for females. While in other countries, like Italy and France, the rates have decreased, from in Italy 22% of males and 5% of females, and in France 16% of males and 4.7% of females. So, MAD is right to be concerned. However, many countries with lower drinking ages have lower alcohol-related traffic rates as well. So as we have seen, there is no clear or definitive choice for what the legal minimum drinking age should be. While lowering the drinking age to 18 would align it with other rights, like voting and marriage, and it would reduce the taboo effect associated with drinking, it could also promote widespread binge drinking, increase drunk driving, and put the general population at risk. Nonetheless, these pros and cons are what makes it a controversy. And no matter what we do, people will most likely always disagree over where the legal minimum drinking age should be. Ultimately, no matter how old you are, it is important though to remember safe drinking habits and practice moderation.